Hi everyone, so today's class is a beginner's Pilates class, so if you're brand new to Pilates, this is the perfect opportunity for you to try something new. And so we'll go with our setup first of all. So we just connect both sitting bones to the floor, so we're trying to really ground ourselves into the mat. Think about lifting up with the pelvic floor, so we lift and draw away from our mat, keeping that extension, that length in the spine, and gentle engagement drawing inwards with those internal abdominals. So we're trying to lightly draw in. We bring the hands just to the lower rib cage first of all, and we take a full and expansive inhalation through the nose. We let the ribs open, and we breathe out through the mouth. Again, breathing in. Breathing out through the mouth. Keeping that length, that extension in the spine, we breathe in. And then breathe out, keeping that spine stacked on top of those sitting bones. We go one more time to breathe in. And then we breathe out. Keeping the spine long, bring those arms forwards. And this time inhale, lift and float both arms towards the ceiling, shoulders relax. As we exhale, release arms, draw in with the center, and we round in the spine, creating that C shape. We breathe in, and then breathe out. Two more. Inhale to lift both arms, but keep those shoulders relaxed. As we exhale, release, and we're drawing a C shape in the spine, so really contract and pull in with the center. Last time. Inhale, both arms lift. Bring the feet quite close together, keep shoulders relaxed. This time exhale, let those knees fall down towards the floor first of all. And then we breathe in to draw the knees slowly towards each other. Again, we exhale to release knees towards the floor first of all. And then breathe in, drawing slowly back up. As we exhale, release, keeping that extension in the spine. So the center is strong. There's no movement in the torso or the arms, just the legs. Release those knees. This time, keeping the knees towards the floor. We inhale, sit tall, and then exhale, come forwards, keeping shoulders relaxed and away from the ears. And then breathing in to draw slowly back up to center. Again, we exhale to pitch forwards, keeping length extension. Imagine somebody pulling us up by those hands. One more time, inhale to center. And then exhale, coming forwards. Breathing in. Breathe out, release. We readjust, coming into a table position. So we bring those hands underneath the shoulders and knees directly underneath the hips. So there's a bit of a gap between the knees. Again, we're thinking about lifting in our center, creating this extension in the spine. And first of all, inhale to release in the spine and look up towards the ceiling. And then we exhale to round in the back, bring chin to chest, look towards the floor, releasing the tailbone. Again, we breathe in to arch. Exhale out through the mouth to round in the spine. Release tailbone towards the floor. Press towards the ceiling. One more time. Inhale to release. And then exhale to round. Coming back into a neutral spine position. Lengthen through just the right leg, pointing the toes. And as we inhale, lift and float the foot towards the ceiling, no movement in the spine. And then exhale, draw slowly back down. So we're trying to maintain control here, keeping the upper body still. We breathe in. Breathe out. Again, breathing in, keeping that opposite hip joint as still as possible. The foot floats towards the ceiling. And exhale, draw slowly down. Two more. Breathe in to lift. We're trying to avoid collapsing, so we stay resisting the floor. Keep those hips in line, a straight line with the shoulders. Slowly down. Last time, inhale to rise. Exhale, pull that leg back down towards the floor. Keep the muscles in the leg active. And then release to change sides. Extending that left leg, pointing toes. Breathing, let the foot float towards the ceiling. Keep hips in line with the shoulders. And then exhale, pull that leg slowly down towards the floor. Again, breathe in to rise. Breathe out. We've got 2 more. Keeping the muscles in the leg active. Imagine almost somebody pulling us by those toes. Keeping the engagement. Center is lifted. 1 more time. We release. Folding from the hips. Opening into those shoulders. Brief stretch back here. And then slowly restack the vertebrae, lifting away from the floor. We bring those legs round from underneath the body. So, knees bend, feet come flat. And here, again, we're thinking about sitting on top of those sitting bones. So we have that real length in the spine. Try to avoid flaring the rib cage so the breastbone is soft and in a straight line. Arms are long and fingertips are forwards. Breathe. And so on the next exhalation, we hinge to come slowly away from those knees. Aim to keep the extension in the spine so we avoid collapsing, but we're lifting, finding that strength in those internal abdominals. We breathe in, coming back to center. Again, as we exhale, we hinge to come slowly away from those knees without collapsing. Breathe into center. And breathe out. Two more. Breathing in. And breathe out. One more time. This time inhale to sit tall. We extend in both legs, relax shoulders. And as we exhale, we hinge. Start to tuck the tailbone underneath so we're engaging in that center, curving in the lower spine as much as possible. So we release towards the floor, 1 vertebrae at a time, slowly coming down. And as we come down, we relax both shoulders and the legs along. We bend. Just one knee, placing that foot flat to the floor, and then lift and sweep the other leg up towards the ceiling. First of all, just a simple movement, flex, and then point that foot. Breathe into flex, breathe out to point. One more time. And so we can soften the knee here slightly if we have tight hamstrings, or keep that leg extended. And we begin to draw small circles inwards, as if we're drawing a circle on the ceiling with the big toe. And we're trying to keep this opposite hip from moving, so we ground the hip, keeping the spine connected to the floor, small, controlled circles. And then we change the direction, so bring those small circles back round the other way. And then we can release that leg slowly down to change sides. Other leg extends. Lift and float the foot towards the ceiling. And first of all, we breathe into flex, and then breathe out to point. Again, breathe in. One more time. With the toes pointed, we begin to draw our small circle round, keeping that lower spine imprinted to the floor. So we have that connection to the floor through the lower back. Just the leg goes round in isolation here. Trying to avoid moving the opposite hip, keeping shoulders connected to the floor. And then we change the direction. So we pull this circle back round the other way. Again, slow, controlled movement and even breathing. Remember, we can bend that knee slightly if that feels more comfortable for you, just to take the pressure and that stretch off the hamstrings. Then placing both feet down to the floor, the heels are flat as well. First of all, taking an inhalation to prepare. Again, we find our center, wrapping those muscles in. As we exhale, just begin to roll slowly up through the spine, tipping the pelvis first. We come slowly up into our glute bridge. So engaging the glutes to lift those hips in a diagonal line from the knees to the shoulders. And then roll slowly back down through the spine, keeping those feet flat, one vertebrae at a time, connecting to the floor. So again, we take a breath in to prepare. Breathe out. Again, taking a breath in, lifting. And breathe out, slow release back to the floor. Imagine a grape underneath the tailbone that we don't want to pop, so we come down as slowly as we can. Again, we breathe in to prepare. And breathe out to begin to peel the spine slowly away from the floor, lifting one vertebrae at a time. Engaging glutes, and then slowly on the next exhalation, reconnect towards the floor. Release coming slowly down. And so lifting heels away from the floor, toes are connected, imprinting spine, freeing those shoulders and the neck. So we're not holding any tension in the shoulders or the neck here, they're nice and free. We begin to lift just one foot, and then placing that foot slowly down to the floor, changing sides. Lift and float the other foot, and then bringing it slowly down. Option for a little bit more, we change the feet one at a time. So there's a point where both feet are lifted away from the floor. Again, we're keeping that strength in the upper body, so we're not forgetting about our core. Pressing spine down, just controlling the movement. And a good way to test if we have control, we should be able to stop this movement at any points. Keep going with that even breathing. Long inhalations through the nose and exhalations out through the mouth. Let's go 4 more repetitions. 2. And when we bring both feet down to the floor, heels are down as well. An introduction to the 100. So lifting both arms, first of all, and we just pulse with the arms. Now we can leave the feet flat to the floor, or option if we're feeling a little bit stronger, we can lift and round shoulders away, just those shoulders. And we're trying to pulse with the arms, with the center, and with the breath as well. So if possible, we take 5 small inhalations, followed by 5 small exhalations. Long exhalation, we come slowly down. This time both legs extend. Bring hands either to the side of the head or interlace those fingers behind the head. We take an inhalation to prepare. And on the exhalation, we lift and round just the upper back away from the floor. And then breathe in to come slowly back down. Breathe out, lift, pull just the shoulder blades away from the floor, and then breathe in to come slowly back down. Breathe out. Breathing in. Breathe out. So this is the neck pull, and we're isolating and strengthening in those abdominal muscles. Just building a really strong base, getting ready for some more advanced movements. As we exhale, we lift and round, shoulders away from the floor. Breathe in, slow release. Let's go just 2 more. Exhale to round. Breathe in. 1 more time. And then bringing it slowly down to the floor. And coming onto the side of the body. So side lying position. And this position here, we are bringing those knees slightly forwards, leaving the hips in line with the heels. We find our center, but think about lifting and drawing the side of the body away from the floor. So there should be a gap big enough to post a letter underneath the body here. Arm can stay long if we have room, just relaxing those shoulders. And first of all, lifting and drawing that top leg completely away. We can leave the lower leg down to the floor. We breathe in first of all to join those knees. And then to breathe out, we join those toes. So first of all, breathe into the knees. Breathe out. No movement in that torso. Again, we're staying strong. Just the leg moves. So internal and external rotation from that hip joint. And this helps to build stability and strength in the hip joints. Breathe in. Breathe out. Using that breath. Remember to try and keep the side of the body lifted and drawn away from the floor. Let's go 2 more. 1 more time. This time lifting top leg away and draw small, controlled circles round. Just keeping this movement into that leg without taking the movement into the upper body. Imagine dusting a window with the kneecap. So we go small circles round, just in isolation from that leg. And then changing that direction. So send those small, controlled circles back round the other way. And so from here we extend in this top leg, so press the leg away. First of all, breathe in to lift and draw the knee up in front of the body. And as we exhale, imagine pressing against a wall, we push that foot slowly away. Again, breathe in to draw the knee slowly up, keeping this leg on one level. And as we exhale, press foot away. No movement in that lower spine. It's tempting as we draw the knee up to collapse here, but try to stay strong so that just that leg moves, pressing the leg slowly away. 1 more time. Release. And so we can bring it round to the other side. So just take your time, and we should have the other leg on top. First of all, arm can extend. We bend in both of those knees. Knees are slightly forwards, hips in line with those heels. Lift and draw the top leg away first of all. And as we breathe in, we come in towards the knees. Then breathe out, separate to those toes. Again, breathe in, joining knees first. And then breathe out, separate the toes. Breathing in. No movement in the upper body. We can bring the hand either to the hip or maybe down to the floor just for that extra bit of support. Two more. One more time. We lift the top leg away and just begin to draw small, controlled circles round. As if we're dusting a window with the kneecap, we go slowly round. Try not to take that movement into the upper body. So just the leg moves here. And again, we change the direction. So pull the circle round the other way. And we can extend in that top leg. So we send the leg long first of all. And breathe in to lift and draw the knees slowly up. And as we breathe out, press that foot away. Try not to collapse in that lower spine. Breathe in, drawing the knees slowly up. Keeping that leg on one level as we breathe in. Draw up in front of the body. Breathe out, pressing slowly away. Two more. We've got one more time. To release. And so coming on to the front of the body. And so this time lifting in our centre. So we lift and pull the belly button almost up and in towards the spine. So we're actively lifting and resisting out of the floor. We bring fingertips close together. And so first of all, just lift and float right leg away from the floor, keeping that extension in the spine. And then breathe out, releasing slowly down. Change sides. Breathe in, rise. Breathe out, release slowly down. Breathing in. So we're developing the stability in the muscles that support the spine. Breathing in. Remember to keep lifting that belly button up towards the spine so we lift and draw out of the mat. Two more. One more time. Release. And so bringing fingertips close together, if they weren't already. And again, this time breathe in, lifting just the upper body away from the floor. And then we exhale, release. Breathing in. Again, keeping that length, that width through the upper back. So we're drawing shoulder blades apart as we lift and draw out of the mat. And then coming slowly back down towards the floor. We've got one more time. Breathing in. We readjust, so bring those hands underneath or next to the shoulders. And press, first of all, to lift into a cobra. And breathe out to soften those knees and fold from the hips, opening into the shoulders. In child's pose. Again, we restack the vertebrae. And this time bring those legs round from underneath the body. So, knees bent, Feet are flat to the floor, and we bring either fingertips or palms down here, releasing shoulders again, finding our length, that extension that we talked about at the beginning of class, and just begin to release one hip slowly to the floor. So as we inhale, we're just opening into that hip joint slowly. And then breathe in, draw that leg slowly back to center to change sides. Inhale, release. Working into those hip joints. Breathing to release the knees slowly to the sides. Breathe in. One more time each side. Last time. So extending, both arms, fingertips are forwards. We can always readjust here if we begin to sink back so that we restack, sitting again on top of those sitting bones. And this time as we exhale, we hinge, come back first of all. Imagine somebody has hold of our right hand and they open, they guide us backwards. We open into the upper body, slightly back. Breathing into center. And breathe out. Breathing in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more time each side. Breathing in. Breathe out. Last time. Breathe into center. This time exhale, hinge those hips, tuck tailbone underneath. And come slowly down through the spine, connecting to the floor. Bring the feet a bit closer and lift just the right leg. Turning out from the hip, we bring just above the ankle across that thigh. And we can stay here if we're feeling a stretch, or maybe reach through for the left thigh, and then extend that left leg. Trying to keep those shoulders relaxed and the neck as free as possible. If we feel like we're tensing here, we can always release back to the floor so we can soften those shoulders. Changing sides, so lifting the other leg, turning out from the hip, just above the ankle from the thigh. So again, we can stay here. Or we reach it through for that thigh, and then again extend in the leg. Release. And so arms either extend, or if not possible, maybe bend those elbows. And just let those knees fall to one side. So we let the knees fall towards the floor. Maybe turn and just look over the opposite shoulder. So we're opening into the spine, taking a spinal twist. Drawing to center, we change sides. So same on the other side, just let the knees fall away towards the floor. And then again turn and look over the opposite shoulder. And then back to center. You can take those thighs, just rock through the spine a couple of times, coming up to a seated position. It's comfortable for you, maybe with those legs long or with the legs crossed. You relax shoulders away from the ears. And so take a deep breath in through the nose, lifting both arms. Breathe out through the mouth, release. One more time, we breathe in. Breathe out.